Today's video topic is creating a model of Ethereum for frustrated beginners. If you're a beginner, you probably have seen a lot of YouTube videos, read a lot of documentation, and you kind of know like what the different components are, but you might be having trouble putting it all in the big picture. So the three main things in Ethereum, if you boil everything down, is transactions, accounts, and smart contracts. How do we glue these three concepts together to form Ethereum network? The Ethereum network can be thought of as a big railway system where accounts kind of like train stations. So they hold your value, right? You can imagine that you have a train station and this is kind of like your house. This is all that you own, all your NFTs, everything that's all tied to your account. And so if you want to send value, Ethereum or anything, to anyone else, you need to do so with a transaction. And transaction kind of sounds like train. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe transactions can be pictured as trains. So you send a train to your friend's train station. Now we have covered externally owned accounts, train stations, and trains, which are transactions. So you can just imagine a big network of different accounts sending trains to each other. Now we need to introduce smart contracts, right? Because that's what's interesting about Ethereum. Smart contracts are very general purpose, so we're not going to get into any detail, but you can think of them as factories, because factories are also general purposed. The factory can receive trains, which means if you interact with a smart contract, you'll send train to that factory, and then it'll do things. This factory, may or may not send a transaction back to you. Maybe it'll store value. Maybe it's a pool, whatever. That's kind of the broad general overview. Is you have these three components. You have train stations, trains, and factories, and all of these are just sending trains all around to each other. And this whole system is a high-level overview of the Ethereum ecosystem. It's just accounts sending transactions to each other. If you found this way of conceptualizing Ethereum helpful, you'll be happy to know that there is a course on this where it's the same information in a written format and also goes into more detail. And, it's not off the top of my head. I spent a lot of time writing the sentences in a particular way and creating memory shortcuts to picture all of this together. This course is called Platinum Ethereum and it's free, so you should check it out. My goal with Platinum Ethereum was to make an introductory course to Ethereum that's very different from all the currently existing courses. A lot of the courses right now, or a lot of blogs, a lot of this kind of stuff is very technical, and it assumes that you already know things about Ethereum. And so as you're consuming these tutorials and these blog posts, you might be missing fragments of different concepts to understand newer concepts. Platinum Ethereum is designed in a way that you can get in and it gives you the minimum amount of information to understand to move on to the next topic. And so it baby steps you through learning about Ethereum. Eventually, it'll circle back around to the same topic. So for example, we talked about accounts being train stations. In Challenge 1 of Platinum Ethereum, the train station article just goes over balances of train stations, the address, and the private key, right? Just three things. But of course, accounts and train stations, they're made up of a lot more than just three things. But that might not be immediately relevant to know. As you continue through Speedrun Ethereum, you'll circle back to these same concepts and kind of add more brick onto this base, the base of a building. Platinum Ethereum follows very closely to another course called Speedrun Ethereum. It tells you about the behind the scenes, the under the hood aspects of Speedrun Ethereum. So Speedrun Ethereum, probably named after a video game concept, I think, where you speedrun a game, you go through it as quickly as possible, which is great for learning. And Platinum Ethereum, I named it Platinum Ethereum because it's like when you platinum a game, you get every achievement in the game. Platinum Ethereum follows speedrun Ethereum, but it explains everything. So speedrun Ethereum is for building, and Platinum Ethereum is for learning what you are building.